Hello, 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 and welcome again to Teachers Are Talking. And we are giving you the real on education. So we are continuing our discussion of accountability. We had an exciting dialogue last time, and we decided, we need to continue and keep this conversation going.
Absolutely.
We have some wonderful people that are back again. Tell us, Candy, what's been going on with you?
What up,
Candy
what
Jack?
up, what up? Hey,
Hey.
Good. How about yourself?
Again, fighting this weather. I'm excited about this conversation today.
And Terry, what's been going on with you?
Just working like a slave, holding down 2 jobs and keeping this teenager straight. I'm tired, but it's all good.
It's all good?
It's all
It's all
good.
good. All right. We're missing Bria today. Sending out our love. But she'll be with us next time. All right. So this week, I haven't had any drama this week. Last time it was a lot going on. Everything is smooth and going pretty well. Count down to the end of the school year.
Hallelujah.
Hey.
Well, star
Glory to
test.
the Lamb.
Get that over, and then count down to the end of the year.
Now, that's
We
what
have
I'm ready for.
what is it? 8 Fridays? Is it 8 Fridays
You on
left?
countdown. All the
I
way
believe
to
it's
the
8
days.
Fridays.
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
How many hours?
I'm just
Since you on the days?
closing my
You know,
eyes.
I can't pull that
just trying to
information. You're trying to
Trying to breathe.
and breathe.
I'm just like,
I believe it's 8 Fridays, if I'm not mistaken.
oh my goodness, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
School Fridays.
Oh
yes.
my gosh.
If I'm not mistaken, maybe 10. Someone would call me and let me know if I'm wrong. Call me, please. Let me know.
Exact numbers.
Yes, we need
Glory to the
exact
Lamb of
numbers.
God. Your word
If you
to
have the
praise
hours,
God.
you can tell us that as well. How many Fridays do we have? How many Mondays do
How
we
many
have?
days?
Your
School
teachers
days.
are
School
excited.
days.
do we
The
have?
thing is,
I
your
don't even
teachers
know.
are excited, but us parents not so much. Because
Right.
now our kids are out.
That's
So
it.
while y'all happy, us parents are kind of depressed.
We're sorry.
That's
It's
okay.
your turn. It's
That's
your
okay,
turn.
because we're gonna make sure they wired up and live and ready for y'all come August/September. So go ahead, take y'all's break.
We need it. We need
Take your break. It's well deserved.
Right.
Just be
We're glad
ready.
you understand that.
It's well deserved.
We're glad you understand
Just be ready
that.
for August and September. That's all I got to say. So
Okay. Well.
y'all got vacations. Us, I guess, non-teachers have.
Listen,
Hey,
let's be clear. We earn every
You
bit
do.
of
You
our
absolutely
summer, our winter, and our spring and fall breaks. We earn every bit.
Oh,
of
you
it.
absolutely do.
Not only
I'm
do
just
we
making
deal,
sure y'all are aware.
Yeah,
I'm definitely aware.
not only do we deal with your precious angel, because
Right.
yours is a precious angel, but we have Bobo, we have Janquita, Aquanetta, which y'all, there is a real Aquanetta for real.
I can believe it.
We have all of those mixed in with her precious angel,
Right. Yeah,
who
and
comes
it's a
to
struggle.
class and does her work. But those Bobos, Jaquitas, and Aquanettas,
And they cause
they make
trouble.
up for all. And please don't teach middle school. You added 2 years per day.
But they cause trouble for the good kids too.
Exactly.
Because
Yeah.
their influence on our child, and then
Yeah.
that's a whole
That's a whole
nother
beast. That's so true. That's so true. So today we have this conversation going. We're gonna talk about. We're still on accountability, y'all. We're still on accountability, and we're still talking about who's holding who accountable. But we're gonna narrow it down or try to talk in lines of what's the correct approach to talking to adults.
Amen.
And who's holding who accountable when the tone is off? Tone. That's key. How you say it, because you can say good morning or good morning.
Or the type of emails. Because if your approach is wrong on the email, then that's going to warrant a phone call or an in-person visit.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's going to cause an issue.
In-person
just saying.
visit.
Or remind, or the class dojo.
All of it.
Everything.
It translates.
All of it. All of it.
Or a very long voicemail. Very long voicemail.
Now I have to say, I am guilty.
Don't tell me you
Of-
are a
but you know,
5-minute voicemail.
I am a 5-minute voicemail person, but I have been told it's nice nasty because I'm very sweet about it, but I'm very direct and I'm telling you what needs to be done and what actions need to be taken before I step in again. But I'm saying it really nice and in a pleasant voice.
Right.
But we need to fix it today,
Right. Today.
not tomorrow. Call me during class, please.
The thing
Today.
is, if we try to call y'all during class, y'all can't
I
pick
answer.
up the phone. Something
I
like
we got. There we go. This is Miss Thomas. How may I help you? Yes, I answer in the middle of class.
There's some teachers that do not. And it's like, how you going to leave me a 5-minute voicemail, but when I call you back, you don't answer.
I
As
answer.
long as I'm not getting my actual lesson, I will answer that phone.
Right.
I will.
Well, y'all need
I
to
make
come
sh-
to another part of town. Teachers how to answer the phone.
I make sure I structure that lesson so that at some point we're gonna have independent practice.
Yeah.
Once we get to independent practice, I try to get to that real quick because I know I'm waiting on Miss Whoever to call back. We gotta
Amen.
handle some business.
Miss Johnson.
But yeah, Miss Johnson. So, you know, how you talk to someone and your tone of when you talking to that person. And I think that has a lot to do with the response you'll receive back. That has a lot to do with where that conversation will go, the direction it's going to go. Because I know if you like I said, you say, good morning, how are you? You know, we're going to keep walking and it's going to be a wonderful day. But if you step to me, good morning, that's going to warrant an attitude for me for the rest of the day because I'm going to look at you cross-eyed all day. So, you know, sometimes in school, or we'll say in education, you get those long, lengthy emails.
Yes.
As a parent. You may get an email from administrator that's saying that you didn't do something. Please don't let there be a caps in there. Please don't let something be in all caps. I may take it the wrong way.
You yelling at me?
Yeah, you yelling at me. Yeah. Why are you yelling at me?
Right.
Is this our first discussion about this? Why are you yelling at me? We sometimes, and that's during the middle of the day. And sometimes we're not able to get to those emails. What happens
Say
when
that.
we do not get to those emails in a timely fashion or what that person considers a timely fashion? We get a knock on the door. Our class is interrupted. Now you're taking away from my instruction.
Well, I sent you an email. Well, do you see all these kids in front of me that I've been tending to all day?
Right.
And making sure that they have the appropriate education?
Exactly.
Do you see? Oh, okay.
So what do? And then they step into your class. I've had this happen. Step into the class. And then begins to have a discussion in front of all of these children. Mind you, my students love me. They may, we may have our disagreements. We may have our times, that I have to say a few things. They may do things that upset me and get me in trouble. But they still love me. They have my back.
Right.
They make sure that, if I get in trouble, that they try to get me out of the trouble they got me into. But they're looking at you, the administrator, as you walk in my room. And they're listening to every single thing that you say to me, whether it's right or wrong. And they are processing this, and they do not forget. So, now I will say.
Only time they are quiet.
I remember them days.
The only time, she's right on the only time they're quiet. I will say this. I don't tell my students what to do. They decide on their own what to do. But there was a teacher that stepped in my room one year, just burst in the room, opened the door, Miss Thomas. And I can't remember to this day what she asked. I just remember the results of her actions. So the kids didn't like it because they said it was taken away from their learning.
Wow.
Like they really were learning.
Exactly, because I'm like, they actually care. I'm sure they welcome the distraction.
Yeah, they were welcome. Yeah, so they did not like how she approached me because her tone was bad.
Well, that'll do it.
next thing I know, I looked out the window and we saw smoke coming from a car. We didn't know what happened. I did not know what happened. They knew what happened. So apparently they didn't like her anyway because they said she talks crazy to them. They decided to put a wig in her exhaust pipe and let her drive off with it in there. And it wasn't a little short wig. It was about maybe 26 inches long. And they jammed it all the way in her exhaust pipe. And so by the time she made it to the front of the building, her car was smoking. Everything was, so I'm sorry.
Classic.
Those were my students.
That was classic.
And
You
so
gotta
all
give
you
the
could
kids
see,
credit.
the kids got up and they ran to the window. Oh, that's Miss Such and Such. Her car's smoking. And then some of the other ones started laughing, and we figured out what happened. So
You got to give
accountability.
Kids credit. They are very creative when they want to be.
They are very creative when they
I would
want
have
to be.
never, ever, waste a wig. Because if that wig was a good wig, you wasted money.
No,
First and
it was
foremost.
a prop wig. It was a prop wig.
Okay.
It was a prop wig, but still.
And then, of course, going back to accountability, who's going to fix the car?
Oh, they didn't care about that.
Right.
Obviously.
I mean, it's years now, so I'm just not telling.
But, you know,
They're in high school.
people
No,
have to be careful how they treat
You
kids.
have to. I
Because
mean,
they will mess you up.
the same woman, they flat her tires. I mean, her tires, she had nails in them. That was the time with the wig.
Okay.
That was,
Don't mess with your kids.
I'm telling you, when they love, they love. For
Absolutely.
real, they love. And
They had put sanitizer in someone's drink and got her sick just because she talked to me crazy.
But how did they get that close to her drink?
oh, they find a way.
You know, they find a way because everybody has that student that you are okay with. Hey, can you go get me some water, please?
Okay.
Yeah, but it turned into, hey, give me
Yeah.
some water, please, and gave it to the wrong student. Because
Hand
it was
sanitizer.
bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
They
All right.
yeah.
They come up with some
Interesting
things.
kids.
Oh, you'd be surprised at what they
I mean,
can
I've
come
been
up
out of the
with.
school system for a long time. I would have never thought about that ever.
Really?
I would have been too scared to get caught and have them call my mama.
I mean, that was me too. But
But not these.
Yeah.
kids.
Absolutely not.
No.
No respect for the parents because they too okay.
nope.
No. So Terry, tell me, as a parent, I assume, it's just an assumption, that there have been, a few emails that you've received or
Absolutely.
phone call that you've received that
Absolutely.
possibly could have gone left field.
Oh yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that. Give me a good one.
You know, my child, she's a great child. Never really have any problems, but she's a talker. She loves to talk. She's the life of the party.
Of course.
She loves to talk. However, she talks at the wrong time, which warrants a call, an email, or a eye-to-eye conversation with the teacher. And the majority of the teachers, it's okay. But then I have about that handful of teachers I want to strangle because your approach is wrong. First and foremost, if after the second or third try, you can get her to close her mouth, you need to go ahead and call me at that point.
Right.
Tell her to call me right then and there.
Right.
Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Then next thing you know, well, she's gossiping more than she is paying attention to class.
Oh, gossiping.
Okay,
Not just talking,
But-
gossiping.
but they're not complaining about her grades. She's making great grades. But if she starts talking, everybody else starts talking. And then the teacher loses control of the classroom.
Distraction.
Okay, I get that's a problem. But as a teacher, shouldn't you know how to kind of handle that? To a degree. I know back in my day, you get the parent phone call, you go to the office, there's
But
a
remember
lot
you
of
said
Back in the
your
day.
back in the day.
right?
But
When-
I was
when we had a
scared.
fear.
Yes, there was a lot of fear. And to this day, she still has a fear. But it wasn't as big as my fear with my parents. Do not call my mama. I don't care what you do. The principal can even whoop my ass if you want to. But do not call my mom, because I know there's going to be a bigger punishment. So I have this one email from one of my daughter's teachers. And she's like, I'm emailing you about your daughter's work in class. It's not like her to get a low grade. Mind you, this is her favorite subject. She was doing great, okay? One bad grade. Okay, thanks for the heads up. I can see that on her grade book online. The gossip is more interesting than the classwork, and it's showing in her grades. Mind you, she still has a high B, low A average. So it's not affecting her too bad. I mean, I ain't tripping. She's making higher grades than I was back in the day, so, you know. She spent most of the class today showing another her phone and singing aloud. Okay, come on now. Most of the class showing another person her phone. That, to me, I don't even believe it. Because she doesn't like anybody in her phone. I have to get her phone when she sleep. So I seriously doubt she's going to go and let other people see her phone.
Right.
That's not just going to happen. She ignores the times I asked her to put away her phone and says she needs to take a picture of the board to then write notes at home.
You know, honestly, on that, I have let students take a picture of the board so they can see, and because some, you know, not able to get glasses, some can't see the board, the lighting in the room. So that part I don't mind. So I'm not sure why she's complaining.
Right, and if
she
she's
said
done
for
that
homework.
before,
Yeah.
and that's how she gets her high grades,
Right.
why is it a problem now?
Right.
Then you say that, you know, you asked her to put away her phone. But if you allow phones in the classroom, why are you changing the subject? Why are you trying to change it to where now you want the phone put up?
Right.
Then she adds, you know, we have notes in Google Classroom, and we have a vocabulary practice review in the Google Classroom. Okay, that's fine. She is right that if she does not want to, she does not have to write notes. Okay, well, you know, that's between you and her. But again, if she's passing your class, why are you worried about how she remembers things?
Right.
And if she can access everything in Google Classroom, she can do that at home as well. So still, what's the problem? However, when she needs to write in class without notes, she doesn't know how to write or pronounce the word because she did not write it the first time.
So
Okay,
she's
so
all over the
I know.
place.
So what?
Exactly.
What is she trying to? What is she getting at? What is her point?
I don't know. Even to this day, when I reread this email, I do not know.
So you saved the email from years ago?
Okay. Oh, yes. Absolutely.
Not too many parents. Well, you know what? Most parents.
I wouldn't even
Most-
say most, because some do not.
Most
But even
parents
I
are
know.
not even accepting,
Emails.
Oh.
let alone keep
I got
emails.
emails from a believer. She was in the 6th grade.
She's in 9th, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good parent. Good parent.
Very
If
good
we
But
had,
I'm confused by this teacher.
me too.
Yeah,
Let's
she's all
do-
over the place.
So what was your
She
response?
wrote
Goal of
this.
sending
Yeah.
an email,
She
though.
wrote this probably like 6-7 months after first day of school. So all this time, there hasn't been a problem until 6 or 7 months later.
So what was your response to all of this? How
That's a
did
good
you? How
question.
did yeah?
What
How
did
did
I
you
respond?
How did you respond?
This,
And how did you
this
handle it?
particular email, I will admit, I did not respond. Because this is the second time me and her have communicated.
Okay, so it was the first time.
The first time, I told her I will talk to her and we will correct the problem.
Okay,
But I also got my daughter's side of the story.
right.
And in my opinion, both were in the wrong.
Okay,
And I told my daughter she was in the wrong and to make sure she apologized.
okay.
And I asked the teacher, if you have any other issues, let me know. In which she did let me know. But on that second email, as y'all heard, she was all over the place.
Right.
So I don't know what's really the truth.
It sounded like she wasn't quite talking about just your daughter.
No.
I don't
That's
think
what
she was
we
talking.
know.
I think
Exactly.
she confused my daughter with somebody else. And with my daughter being kind of being the leader because she pays attention, but then she can talk in class. If my daughter gets off track, everybody else gets track, and it's almost like she's trying to put all the blame on my daughter.
Right.
And that's not right.
Right.
You need to know who's causing the problems and approach them. Now, if you say my daughter keeps talking too much, I'll believe it. Okay, let's handle it. But that email, it was so all over the place, I couldn't respond, because if I responded, it was not going to be polite.
Right.
Because
right.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Right. And I wondered if she was sending out maybe one mass, because that sounded like it could have hit several kids.
Well, she would have to change a few words here and there, but it sounded like it could be numerous people.
Right, that's what I'm saying, because that would have touched quite a few students that maybe she was talking with and were off task.
See,
Right.
that's why I don't do blanket email.
Right. I don't either.
She just
I
got to
need
have control of her classroom. And if you don't have control of your classroom, the kids are going to run over you.
This is
That's true. We're gonna touch on that though.
yeah.
We are. we touching on that. Definitely. I'm giving you time to get back, because because I'm not one of those weak teachers that's sitting in class letting my kids run them up. But we gonna talk about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as a parent, there's a wrong and a right way to approach what your child is doing.
Right.
If you're going to let me know what she's doing, have your facts and give me the truth. Because if it doesn't make sense to me, how can I help correct the problem?
Right. And you know what I gotta say? I appreciate your approach of trying to see the middle ground and see, okay, this is my daughter. I know my daughter. And seeing, okay, this is getting the teacher's point of view as well. Because most parents, I won't say most, but many parents, they hear their child, they see their child. My child can't do that. My child didn't do that. That is not my child.
Reality.
Right.
Yeah. And they're not taking the responsibility of saying, maybe my kid actually did do that. Yes, your kid came up and tried to put my hair in some wax. Yes, your kid. Yes, your kid did try to set me on fire. Yes, your child did. Your Bobo walked in my room and mooned me today.
Right.
Exactly.
Actually happened.
Right.
Yeah. Yes.
I've been,
Less, but it was not a moon. It was the other way.
Right.
Yes. Last day of school. Bye, Miss Thomas. I'll miss you. What?
I'm like, you gotta get out.
And no, I didn't have to. He ran out before I could even get him. But it was the last day of school, so
I hope they were going to another school the next year.
yeah, he was.
Okay.
Yes.
So you don't
So
have
I
to see
could-
that all ever again.
But I couldn't get to him. Could not get
you
to
wouldn't
him.
want to get to him
Well,
at
no,
that point.
As far as to write him up or whatever. His last day of school, what's gonna happen? Nothing.
I'd have been like, just get out my
Depends
face.
on the district too.
Yeah.
Some
Yes.
okay, you'll be suspended for the first week of school in your new school. So it just depends.
It depends again.
Right.
It depends. Yeah.
Right.
So Candy, Candy J, what's going on in your world about this correct approach to talking to people? What's going on in your world?
I have several stories.
I'm gonna have to take notes so I can remember.
Well, let me start with one that's very vivid in my
okay.
memory right now.
Oh.
So let me take y'all on a little journey, okay?
All right.
And Miss Thomas, you can attest to this. Attendance is very important. Very, very important. It's how our districts get paid. Okay?
Absolutely.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Cool beans. Every child's head is
It's accounted for,
worth
yeah.
something. Okay?
Yeah, a few $100
Right.
per day.
So we have most districts and most schools have an attendance person. If your child ever missed school, you get a call.
Yep.
Mrs. Smith, she was she absent really? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, so on the teacher side of things, right?
Yes.
So most of the time, I don't know about your school, but we have to get it in by 10 o'clock.
Correct.
Is
Correct.
most of the time, okay?
Correct.
So if a teacher misses attendance, we have a procedure. You print out your attendance, or somebody will print it. The PEMS person or attendance person will print it out for you. Okay.
Right.
So at my new school where I was, this person that is the PEMS person, she's very rude, very, very, very rude. And when I first got there, I didn't know how their attendance system worked, right? So I would miss it sometimes. And in her approach of coming to me, she would be, well, Miss Jackson, you missed your attendance, so I need you to get this done. And I'm like, well, do you need help? Oh, Well,
That was the first time she's ever approached you?
first
Oh,
time. That was the
Tone is important,
First.
y'all.
Yeah.
Tone is
that's
important.
strike number one.
The first time. Okay. So she came up, she showed me one time how to do it. Kids in my room. Keep in mind, kids in my room. So not only am I talking to you, but I'm also managing the kids. Okay, Johnny, I need you to sit down. Hold on. And Miss Jackson, do you know how? And so but I'm over here on this computer trying to get your attendance done. So she acts like hers is the only job that needs to be done that day. Okay, that was number one. So Ping's person and attendance people are also over the grades.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
So no one had showed me how to put the grades into my. Remember, this is my new school, right? Different system.
Right.
So two people came up and showed me, her and my team lead. Well, you didn't ask your team lead how to do it, and I said, but you're the attendance and grades. Aren't I supposed to ask you? Now keep in mind, I came from somebody that was great. She was awesome. Okay, Miss Jackson, let me sit down with you. Okay, so you click on this button and you do this, and she was awesome. This person right here, no,
Not being held accountable.
not being held accountable, and she's also the principal's pet.
Oh,
Because she's
a
also
pet.
her
A pet.
secretary. So the PEMS person at this particular school and the secretary for the principal are the same person. Huh? So let that sink
Pet.
in. Let that sink in real quick. Let
Not
that
just
sink in.
secretary, but pet.
Huh?
Pet.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So she had been rude to me. I had been here for a couple of months now, and this is the first time I had to put grades in. Grades got put in. I thought I did everything properly, but there was a piece of paper missing. It's called grade verification, and you're supposed
have to-
to sign that.
And you verify that all your grades are
Yeah,
correct.
but previous schools, yes.
We're giving you the real on
Uh-huh,
education,
we're
y'all.
giving you the real. All these little details, right? So, but the previous schools that I had been in, they sent an email, okay, you checked off your stuff, and then they had a sheet of paper. And all you do is go sign it.
Okay.
At this particular school, first of all, no paper in the printers. So they give you 2 reams of paper a month and I teach reading. Oh,
Which
but I
use more paper than anybody.
Right.
Right.
Any subject.
More paper in the whole school
Yeah.
is reading teachers.
You
But we
two-
get
two reams.
of paper
For all your classes.
for all my 6 classes.
How many students do you have?
At the time, it was 110.
Quick
2
question.
reams.
During school, when it first starts, is the paper ever a requirement for school supplies for kids to bring?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No,
Oh,
ma'am.
in y'all school district, you see,
It's-
ours,
it's-
it's required every kid brings.
Oh.
One or
No,
two.
we're not talking about notebook paper. We're talking
No,
about
I'm
copy
talking
paper.
about copy paper.
Copy paper?
Oh,
I've been
what?
buying
That would be
copy
awesome.
paper ever since middle school.
What?
Yeah.
But not
Okay.
at this school.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Nowhere on this side of
No,
town.
no. But I
Y'all
do-
might need to get that added.
Wait, I do say I'll give you free homework pass if you bring me a ream of paper. So I mean, it works.
Hey.
Yeah.
It works. However, so keep in mind I have to bring my paper to the printer. So I sent her an email saying the PEMS person. I sent her an email saying, hey, I did everything for grade verification. I'm just waiting to sign. She didn't respond. Okay. So I asked my team lead, I was like, well, I don't know what's happening. And she's like, well, I think they have you marked down as grades still not done. I said, no, I've already done my grades. And I sent an email, she didn't respond. I get an email from the principal. Well, here's the email that your team lead sent a couple of days ago about grades. But that didn't answer my question. I asked, did I need to do anything else for grade verification? That didn't answer my question. Remember, we're talking about accountability, right?
Accountability.
Okay. So, I got frustrated, real frustrated. So I went down to
Because that's the second strike in my book.
that's the third one because
Oh.
keep in mind, this PEMS and attendance person has been coming at me back to back to back. She'll stop me in the hallway. I had a kid that passed out. And I had another kid pick him up, take him down to the nurse. Well, I gotta supervise that because we can't have any other instances. So I had to leave the kids. So the kids, another teacher is watching the kids while I run down the hallway to make sure that they're okay. So she stops me in the hallway and asks me about attendance. Word. I didn't. What? There's some cuss words going through my head right now. I'm sorry. I can't. And
You're trying to tend to a student.
Right. She got mad. She got real mad. So all of this is building up to this grade verification stuff. So I went in the principal's office, and after she sent me that email, right? And I went in and I was like, "Can I talk to you for a minute?"
In that tone?
In that tone.
Oh.
Because by this time, I'm in that tone. I'm in that frame of mind.
Yeah.
Now, I've already admitted that I'm wrong for my tone at this point.
Okay.
Because,
Okay.
yeah,
Accountability.
You held
I was
yourself.
on 10.
Okay.
Okay. So, can I speak to you for a minute? Yes,
Oh,
yes, Miss
Candy
Jackson.
J, Candy J.
Yes, Miss Jackson.
Mm.
So, you sent me an email, and it doesn't answer my question, and I'm not sure what we're talking about right now. So I sent an email to the PIMS person, to your secretary, and she didn't answer that email. But I got one from you. I don't understand. Nobody answered my question,
Right.
and right now I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And it could have been a simple email to tell me what I need to do at this point. So her secretary hears me. Can I join in on this conversation? Yes, you may, but hold on.
With that
So-
tone again.
With that tone. So she stood there. I said, and let me also say another thing. She's simply rude to me. Every single day she's rude. And
How'd that
she
go?
said,
Right.
How'd that
she
turn out?
Teacher's
said,
pet,
Miss
secretary pet.
Jackson, you can't say that. Why can't I?
Oh boy.
You can't walk up to somebody and say that they're rude.
Oh, we had to
So
talk.
Well,
am
she
I-
was rude to you.
So am I supposed to say it behind their back? Is that what I'm supposed to do? This is me actually talking. Am I supposed to do that? And she said, well, you just don't walk up to nobody and tell them that they're rude. I said, well, listen, she can say I'm rude and I can say she's rude. You're not going to invalidate how I feel.
Right,
Right.
This
right,
is how
right.
I feel.
Right.
She said, well, that's just not acceptable. That's unprofessional.
Hold that thought. Hold that thought. Hold that thought. Y'all, before this goes away, before the end of the day, someone call in. I know y'all have had experiences like this. 203-802-5694. Someone call us and because Candy is about to let y'all know
In the name.
the correct way
You see, I'm
to
38
approach.
hot right now.
Yeah, it's getting kind of toasty
It's getting
over
hot
here.
in here, y'all. It's getting hot in here. Someone call in. 203-802-5694. Go ahead,
She said,
Candy.
well, the manner of which you're talking to me is unprofessional and rude right now. I said, you know what? I'm very frustrated, so I know that I'm probably being very rude right now. But that does not mean that it invalidates what I'm saying to you. But Miss Jackson, you're just being so unprofessional. Well, Miss Jackson, you don't do what I'm asking. Wait, with the hand movement. And she's of Hispanic descent, so she's
Did we have
she's
to
black.
say-
She black. Right. With the hand movement.
We
Miss
have to put
Jackson,
that in there.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be stopping you in the hallway to let you know what you need to do. I said, stop right there.
Right.
You're stopping me in the hallway when I'm doing things. I gotta keep moving. Whatever I'm doing, because I'm going that fast, it's something that's happening right now. I
Right.
need to go.
Right.
It has something to do with my kids.
Right, right.
So, but when I've sent you 2 and 3 emails, first of all, you may have only sent me 1 email, and if the way our email system comes up, sometimes it skips the email.
Right.
So,
Or if someone responds, then it drops
Right.
down to the
And it
bottom,
drops down.
and you can't see it. Yeah, yeah.
so charge it to my head, not my heart,
Right.
that I may have not seen your email, or I may have been teaching. Wait,
Please don't teach and
Don't
not
teach.
answer. Do not do that. You need to answer this email immediately.
Right, forget the kids.
I answered
Send through
at,
the email.
I sent that email at 10:01. You did not respond by 10:03.
Right.
What is the problem? I know your class started. I know your class is in.
They don't care.
But what's the problem?
Right.
What is the problem? You did not take time to answer this email. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Because I understand. I'm feeling that myself. I'm feeling that myself.
We had to cut the conversation short because the principal, had a meeting to go to. So,
So nothing was resolved.
well, in that same conversation, Miss, what's her name, said, I almost said it. She said, well, I apologize if I've been rude to you. And I said, well, I apologize if I've been rude to you because and especially right now, I know I'm being rude, so I definitely apologize. We're good. Okay. We couldn't finish our conversation. So, next day, I get called into the principal's office.
Oh no.
Candy, you sound like you having one of those weeks like what I had. You know, I had that was mine a few weeks ago. Is it in the air? It's in the air. Okay. Ooh, Candy.
Closer to the end of the school year,
So I get written up.
Oh, that was in the beginning.
Oh.
Yeah, they had this little employee form right here, and she said that I was rude to the children, and I was rude to Miss So-and-so.
Question. How were you rude to the children?
Let's back it up.
Right.
So, in the process of talking to her for attendance one day, I told the kids to sit down and be quiet. Well, they didn't sit down and be quiet after I said it 3 times. And keep in mind, they think that they can get over
there's
when-
another tone
when there's a
there.
guest
Yeah,
in there.
Oh, correct.
So I said, sit down and be quiet.
Yeah, that's about right.
I
That's
mean,
about
yes.
right.
I mean,
On
from
third
a parent's
try,
perspective,
that's
if
about
that's how
right.
you have to get them, it's not like you told them to shut the up.
Right.
Right.
You still
Ain't
said
never
be
said that to
quiet.
them.
It was just a stronger tone.
Right.
Correct.
Because obviously they didn't take the first 3 warnings.
Correct.
So I
Yeah, they
got
don't
written
like
up
a
for
lot
that.
of yeah.
Okay.
A lot of
Yeah,
people don't
got
like
written
that.
up for that. Got written up for Miss So-and-so. I'm being rude, but she didn't get written up though.
Of course not. Of course not.
See, that's why I can't be a teacher. Because that stuff right there would irritate me.
So, go ahead.
Oh no,
Finish
I
your
was
story.
also going to say that on that write-up form, it also said Miss Jackson said she was going to say what she had to say, and I said that's not what I said to you. What I said to you was I'm always going to tell you how I feel.
Right.
That's what I said to
Right.
you. No, she wrote. Miss Jackson said she's going to say what she has to say. That's not what I said. That's not what I said.
I'm like, if you're going to write me up, let's get the verbiage correct.
So I said, let's add customer service to this. And I said, your customer service sucks, and so does hers. Let's add that to that.
Because, hey, they're customers. We're all
Right.
customers. How we treat each other.
Managers, assistant managers,
Yes.
it's all the
Everybody.
same.
If you go to a store, what's the first thing you're looking for? How they treat you when you walk. How
Right.
you greeted.
Right.
Customer
The tone.
service. The tone.
Tone.
Because I don't want you saying good morning.
Right.
No, I don't like how you said that to me. I won't give you my business.
Welcome to so-and-so.
Yeah.
How is you know.
Because I go to Chick-fil-A, I get excited.
Hello?
Good morning. How are you? Welcome to Chick-fil-A today.
My
It's
pleasure.
a pleasure.
Yes. I mean, I'm excited.
They know my name.
Yeah, and if they mess up on my order, I am shocked. Oh my God, what happened? They messed
right,
up on my order.
But
They
you're
must
nice
be having
and
a bad
calm
day.
about it. Or
Yeah.
getting it corrected.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
Teachers are talking. We're giving it to you, giving you the real on education. Who are we speaking with?
Hello, my name is Chris.
Hey, Chris, what's going on?
Nothing much. I've been listening to you guys' show. You guys are very entertaining. And I just wanted to commend you guys as teachers of the things that you go through.
Thank
Because
you.
as parents should control these kids before they send them to you guys. You guys do a lot, and you guys are not commended. So I just wanted to call in and say, you guys keep doing what you're doing. You're doing a great job.
Thank you. Thank you. We appreciate it, Chris. Thank you so much. You have a great day. All right. Bye-bye.
Oh, we appreciate you, Chris. Yes,
Because
Lord.
Lord knows.
Y'all go through a lot.
You know what? I got to touch on this classroom management. And I got to touch on, when you said tone, tone, and how you said it, I have gotten in trouble for the same thing. How I said it, I was rude. But I said, close your mouth, but that was after 15 times saying, please be quiet. Can you please be quiet? Please sit down. Please stop talking. Please stop. Close your mouth.
Don't respond to that.
Yeah. But they respond to that. But I'm in trouble because I said close your mouth and I had an attitude with it.
And that's the thing. And with parents, if you have to give our kids that many warnings before you have to get stern, get in mama mode about it, you just got to do what you got to do. But my problem is, where are the administrators? If you haven't been in the classroom to see how these kids are, how are you going to get mad at the teachers for having to use a stern voice?
Okay, so
I'm just saying.
this is the thing. I got in trouble by let me rewind this story. So the child was in the class about to fight another girl. It was two girls. They were about to fight. So of course I pushed the button for the emergency button for them to come get her out of my
I love that
class.
button.
So someone came to get the girl out of my class. But it was two girls. But one lady decided, oh, she needs to go back to class because kids are real sneaky like that. They told her she needs to go back to class. So of course when she walked back in class, what happened? Everyone gets
Rowdy.
Right.
It wasn't the administrator. The administrator didn't say anything to me until the person that walked that child back to class went back and said, I didn't like Miss Thomas's tone and how she was speaking to the children. Well, why did you bring that girl back in my classroom?
Now, that was a
After-
teacher who brought her back.
Yes.
Okay. Your own
Yeah,
tears.
well, she's like a counselor. Why? Yeah. Why would you bring her back in class if you know the girl's in?
Counselors. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that. Right? Sorry.
If you know for a fact that this girl was about to fight, she's hyped up, now she wants attention. And this is one of those kids that like attention, likes to be in the center room. And she walks in the room, hey everybody, I'm back.
Uh-oh.
You what? No, you get out of my room.
Right.
You be quiet. So the lady went back, told the parent. The parent called me.
Shut the front door.
Called me and said, I heard that you said that you didn't like that my daughter had to get out of your class. Well, I did say that. Yes, I did.
Right.
She was like, I heard it was in a certain tone that you should not have spoken to my child. So she said that. She called me. Then she called my administrator. Administrator came back in the room. And that's when all of that came out.
Ding. Question. Before we even got to that point, did the teacher who took it upon herself to call the parent tell the parent that girl was about to start fighting?
No, ma'am.
Of course
Okay.
not.
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Of course not.
No, ma'am.
Of course not.
Lack of communication.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
But she didn't like my tone.
She should have
It
checked
sounded
her
like she
daughter.
didn't like you either. Though.
Well,
Right.
we
If she knew her daughter
You've
was
had
about to
words.
fight, I'm
We-
sure it would have been different.
we have not had words until that point in time. Because once you cross me like that, then because I'm not the type. I'm not confrontational. I'm not going to say anything. I'm trying to keep the peace. She broke all that. There's no peace now in the house.
Nope.
No peace in the house. So every time I'm trying to hunt her down, she's going left. Because I was chasing her every day. I'm trying to find her.
She knows she wrong.
Where you at? And I get close to her and she goes right.
She knows she wrong.
Okay, so I finally got to her and I was like, Miss such and such parent called me and said that she didn't like my tone. The only way she would know my tone was if someone told her.
Right.
So she was like, well, yeah, I had to tell her that, you know.
You had to. Like you had to call her?
She had to call her and tell her that her child was fighting. That's what
But
she
was that
should
girl
have
in her
said.
actual class?
No.
She shouldn't have been able.
She's just a counselor. She's like a counselor, she's an intervention specialist that pulls children
Well, she
when there's
needs
a
to go
problem.
back to school and learn the techniques
Well,
or the appropriate
she
methods.
needs to learn how people
Alienate your
talk
teachers.
to others. As far as she's never been a teacher. She's never been in a classroom. She's never
she don't
dealt
know.
with
Troubled kids.
what can we call them?
Troubled kids.
I won't even. With troubled
Children.
Children.
Just
Children.
Because there's a different time when you are a teacher or when you're a person that deals with children all the time. You learn what works for each child,
Right.
and you
Different
would
things for
know
different kids.
You might have to say in a different tone something that they respond to because that's what they respond to at home.
Yep.
Because I don't deal with Johnny and Kathy.
Right.
Johnny and Kathy, I can tell them, please sit down and let's get back
Yes,
to
ma'am.
work. Yes, ma'am.
La, 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 la.
I deal with
Aquanetta.
Bobo and Aquanetta. Bobo and Aquanetta only understand sit down.
Right.
Well, they understand worse
Now,
than that.
yeah, they do, and they respond to that, but we can't give them the way
Right.
we can't give it to them the way they need it.
Because I've had mothers come up there. I
told
told your
you.
ass to sit down.
Yeah, yes.
In this classroom. Don't come up here and
And I
let me
love-
act the mother.
I
Fool.
love it.
Right.
And they come in with their rollers.
Yeah.
They make sure that they have
House
their house shoes
Right.
on. They look a hot mess.
Mess.
Love it.
Sometimes,
Love it.
though.
Love it. Sometimes, most of the time it works, but sometimes they still come up there and there's no.
Right.
But so yeah, that was my experience of tone. You know, it just, I don't know. Sometimes with certain adults, I think we still need to find a way to understand each other
Yes.
and understand where that person is coming from. Don't just go in and do an automatic judge of, oh God, you're just awful. Look at you. No, understand where they're coming from. Understand the situation at
Right.
hand, especially if you are a part of the situation. Try to figure out what's my place in this before we start jumping off and saying this and that and things get out of hand.
Right.
Because I think a lot of times in education, a lot of times our schools are the way they are because all of the commotion that's going on with administration, with the teachers against teachers against administration.
Right.
And there's a lot of that going on, and the students feel it.
Yes,
they
do.
feel all of that. And a lot of times they're acting out because we as the adults are acting out. If they see you talking to another teacher demeaning and in a way that's not professional, what makes them not do it?
Right.
Why can't they come in my classroom and tell me, shut up,
Right.
bitch?
Right.
That was a couple weeks ago. Little flashback.
Yeah.
So what's the difference? And I think a lot of times they don't feel as if or they are not being held accountable for that tone because they feel they are the authority figure. And so when they come to you and approach you, and my thing is, remember, I'm an adult too. I'm an adult. You're an adult. Let's just talk as adults. And we have all of these kids around that we have to be role models for. And we need to make sure we are actually being role models for
Right.
them.
Right.
So, Candy, did you finish your...
Oh, girl, there's a part two, though.
Oh!
Oh, there's a part two.
I do have a small question about yours. Now, before school started and you getting your classroom together and so forth, did she even bother to try to show you the system and everything?
So, this is a middle of the year transfer to another
Okay.
school. But when I started there at that particular school, there was nothing really done for me at all. Nothing. Not even a piece of an instructional coach. But that's for another show. That's for
So
another show.
No
that means
guides,
there's
no
no
nothing.
procedures.
No,
procedures.
Just go to your team lead.
So, okay. And that's part of the problem.
Uh-huh.
They
So
need
who
to
should
have
be
procedures.
who should be held responsible or held accountable for that? Because you don't know,
But it starts from the head down, though.
That's it.
right?
So
they
you should
need
have
to
things
take
in place.
That's right.
right.
That's right.
And if they didn't have the time to show you one-on-one, just like any other job, they have a guidebook. They could have had the instructions listed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever.
Right.
That you could follow on your own time and just say, hey, just a reminder, please make sure this is done by whatever time. And
Right.
that doesn't happen.
See, I think
All
the
right.
problem, a lot of campuses do not realize how unique their campus is.
Uh-huh.
You think, well, we all have to do it. Yes, but it's how we do it.
Right.
Right.
Because what she's talking about, other schools do it totally different. And I think that's part of what we all need to get in a uniform way of understanding that procedures needs to be written down for your campus so that we can not have situations like this. We need to also make sure that oh, why did my mind just go blank, y'all? Just go blank on the air. Just lost everything that I was about to say. Get your procedures in order.
Communicate with one another.
Communicate. Thank you. That's where I was going. But okay, so did you go ahead,
No,
finish
part
Kim.
two.
Part 2 before we interrupted.
So also a part of that write-up that I got, y'all, was that I had written in purple ink on one of the attendance papers. I had written in pink
Procedures
ink, green
again.
ink, and you're only
Procedures.
supposed to write in black ink. And that had been told to me a couple of times.
Okay.
But as a teacher, okay, for the grade level that I was teaching, I have 30, 40 students in front of me, and I'm not a person that usually writes in black ink. So I have a rainbow of colors in front of me, and it's not always black.
Right,
So
right.
I've gotten in trouble for the attendance. So now all I'm thinking is, okay, get the attendance up.
Right.
So I
Whatever
pick up-
pen you can grab.
Exactly.
Right.
So this leads into part 2. So after that conversation, that write-up, right? I went away and came back a couple days, and I went and came back. Well, on this particular day, we had a lockdown. I mean, not a lockdown. I'm sorry, the wrong terminology.
Right.
Benchmark.
Benchmark,
Okay.
Which is a
that
lockdown.
It's a lockdown.
is a lockdown of the school
Right,
for
right.
no incoming and outgoing. So you have to do paper attendance on those days, right?
Right.
So got the paper attendance again, not thinking about the color of the ink. I grabbed the first pen, did it, make sure it got put out the door. Yes, I got attendance done. I won't have any problems today. Yes. Okay. Excuse me. So go downstairs. It's in blue ink. I go downstairs. She comes upstairs and she says, "Hey," the PEMS person. Now remember, we've squashed everything. The PEMS person says, "Hey, you did it in blue ink. Can you go back and do it in black?" I said, "Okay, no problem, no issues. We've already squashed it."
Tone
I
is
go,
right, everything good.
Right. Go in my room, close the door. Not even 10 minutes later, that same principal comes upstairs. Okay. She has the paper in hand. She puts the paper down and says, "You did it in blue ink. We need you to give it to us in black ink, please." Okay, cool beans. And so keep in mind, at my kidney table, there's 5 students, and I'm in the middle of looking for them. So I'm going through the paper. So I don't really look up too much, and I say, "Oh, okay." And I just keep going. Eye contact, please.
That's the principal?
Yes.
Okay.
So I stop. Yes. She says, "Is this a game, Miss Jackson? Is this a game, Miss Jackson?" I'm looking at her. I said,
No, ma'am.
"Miss Principal,
No, ma'am.
I'm confused. I'm not sure what you're talking about."
Right.
This tone that I have right now.
In front of children.
In front
Right.
of children. I said, "I'm not sure what we're talking about right now. Is this a game, Miss Jackson?"
So she's gonna use that tone and that attitude in front of children.
So she walks around my kidney table, is now in my ear. "Is this a game, Miss Jackson?" And I look. "Miss Principal, I'm not sure what we're talking. We're not gonna do this here. Let's go in the hallway." So the kids are staring. One of the kids is like, and she's one of my gangster brothers, okay?
Uh-oh.
So she ready.
That's
like,
your Aquanetta.
Right.
Ah.
she
Down
looking
for
at me
whatever.
About to get you.
She's down for whatever.
Do I need to take care of this, Miss
Right.
Jackson?
So, okay. Alright. So I go outside. They know I'm hot.
Yeah.
Go outside. She repeats herself. "Is this a game, Miss Jackson?" I said, "Listen, Miss Principal, I'm not sure what we're talking about here right now, but games are for children. I don't play games. So please tell me what you're talking about." She said, "Well, you did it in blue ink. We already told you that you're not supposed to be doing it in any other color than black." I said, "Well, Miss Principal, listen, I picked up the first pen that I saw. I can get you the attendance again. But is this a game, Miss Jackson?" It took everything in me not to call her out her name.
Right.
Everything. "Why do you keep repeating this question?" I said, "You know what, Miss Principal, is there anything else that you needed from me?" And she says, "No." I said, "Okay, thank you. Have a good day. I'll get the attendance to you in just a moment." And I went in the door and slammed the door. I was ready to clock out and go home. that right then. And told my team leader I was going home right then.
Yeah.
What I failed to mention was it was my birthday. So I'm already at the school on my birthday. I actually enjoy coming to school on my birthday.
'Cause all the gifts you get from the kids,
and
yeah.
the love, and I
Yeah.
really have a love for my students.
Right.
Except for that day.
But that day right there, so my Aquanetta. What she do, Miss Jackson? What she do? I got
you're
some
right.
cousins that we can get her. We can get because they don't respect her,
They-
unfortunately. And I was like, no, baby, it's okay. But you were upset, and she made you. We know she made you upset.
I'm sure everybody in the hallways and other classes heard.
But my team lead had come out the room and everything, and she was like, and she know me, I don't get like that unless somebody has provoked me.
Right.
And so she was like, no, no, but in the name. Well, to keep this a short story, I went down to the AP that I have a great relationship with. And I said, hey, I didn't even tell her name. I said, one of your administrators, this is what they did. And she said, that was very unprofessional, but you sound like y'all need a mediator. So I'm going to facilitate this. And she said, I know who it is, though. I'm going to go get her. So she brought her in. And she let me get it out. And I said, you put me on the defensive immediately. You know, I felt like I was attacked. And so I was ready to clock out on my birthday. And if you had have gotten to know me, since I've been here, then you would know that I don't play games like that. That's not my personality. I'm all about fun and games when it's helping the children.
Absolutely.
But as far as dealing with adults in my job, I don't play games. I don't understand what you're saying. Well, I thought that because you still had an issue with Miss Peen's person, that I said, no.
So she assumed.
Right. I said, no. Wait, hold on. Let's wait. We squashed everything that we had in that room.
Right.
And you're an Aries and I'm an Aries. And we was talking about that in that room. You remember? And so I'm talking to her. You remember? And she said, yeah. I said, remember, I don't keep anything. I'm done. Miss Peen's person has not done anything else to me. So there's no reason for me to have any animosity nor playing a game with attendance, which is how we get paid.
Exactly.
Right.
So, and she was like, well, I'm sorry, Miss Jackson, if I put you on the defensive, you know, I'll do
Why
that.
did they say if I? No,
Because they
you
know they did. They know they did.
And she said she was going to, you know, and I didn't have any issues again with that particular thing anymore. So, you know, yeah.
Well, y'all, we've had another exciting discussion. I know that's it, huh? It went fast. Y'all, I want to leave y'all with this. Remember, we are the role models. We set the tone, we set the mood of the school, our classroom. We set that environment. The way we want our homes, that's the same way we need to bring that to the school. We want peace in our home. We want harmony in our home. We got to remember, sometimes that's the only place these kids will see a structured place and see peace, see love, see a place of calmness. So let's remember, people. Let's do what's best for the kids. Let's keep the love there. All right? And again, thank you for tuning in to Teachers Are Talking.
Yeah.
Giving you the real on education. We'll see you in 2 weeks.